What's up? I'm the creative one here. Let's get into something I think is very important. Check it out. Take back your power, people. Bam! You heard what I said. Take back your power. Get your power back from your abusers or your abuser if there's only one. For me, I have multiple. I just didn't know it at the time. So, let's start with forgiveness of yourself and others. You have to do that. If you don't forgive yourself, and the self is the most important person, how can you truly forgive anyone else? You must start with yourself. Without you, there's nothing. So anger, resentment, guilt, all represent energy tied up in the past. So you ever hear or see a family member or a friend, coworker, whatever, say, oh, I'm over all that stuff that happened in the past and this and that, but they still got anger wrapped up. Resentment, you hear it all in their comments, all in their smear campaigns, they gossiping about stuff. Yeah, they still tied up in it. Don't fall for the okie doke. A lot of people are in denial or simply practicing dark triad traits. Either they know it or they don't know it. Is he mindful or mindless? Either way, it ain't your problem. You just have to know what you're looking at so you can move accordingly. You feel me? Yes, sir. Safety and boundaries. Very important, people. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Now, we must communicate assertively to create and maintain. You understand what I mean? Communication is so important when you're being assertive. See, I was passive. Of course, I was programmed to be that way. But yeah, I was passive aggressive bad. I perceive something, get all these energy signals, and I wouldn't want to make people feel the way I was constantly feeling. But then that allowed me to become a doormat, not taken seriously, walked all over. Miss me with that. I wish I'd have known it then. Respect other people's boundaries. Do you know how many people in my family do not respect boundaries? You tell them, oh, no, thank you. They push the issue anyway. You tell them, no, I'm not, I don't want to hook up or hang out. They show up at your house anyway. The disrespect is great where I come from. You set a boundary. Let's say the boundary right here. They be like, boop, jump right over that joint. Don't be trying to stop me because I feel like I mean well. I should be able to do and come and go wherever I want and however I please. Miss me with that. When you learn better, you do better. You feel me? Crazy out your rabbit. How do you violate other people's boundaries? That's an important one. Now see, your narcissists are going to struggle with that because when it comes to narcissistic behavior, accountability is absent. They are not accountable. And you got to pay attention to it. The accountability for them, their version might look like, yeah, I burnt the bacon, but it was because you kept distracting me. Or, yeah, I was late to work, but it was because the daggone traffic. Or, yeah, I cheated on you, but it was because you was emotionally neglecting me in the relationship. Do you see the pattern? It's like somewhat accountability, but more blame. That's narcissistic favorites. You understand? Know it when you see it. Please believe me. Now, you have to learn to own it and re-repair people. So identify triggers and own them. No matter if it's words, places, or smells. I have all three of them. I have trigger smells whenever someone's like a heavy drinker and it starts seeping through their pores, mixing with their smell, their essence. That triggers me right to my abuser. This man was more drunk than he was sober. So as soon as I smell that, travel right to little Kiki. Now I gotta do all this work to come back to present time. Or places. Soon as I see Miss Jerry house or that neighborhood, travel. Now I gotta do all this work to come back to 2026. Oh snap, I'm back in the 90s. Let me do the work because now I know how to do it. You have to Identify your triggers and own them. And don't expect people to have sympathy for you. Stop looking outward. Start looking inward. Get mirrors if you need to, but be careful. There's power in the mirrors. You gotta educate yourself when it comes to the spiritual realm. Moving forward, what triggers do you have that you could own? Now this is where homework needs to be done, baby. What triggers do you have that you could own, but you blame others? No, you heard me. Quit getting tight. Loosen up. They looking, they watching. Act like we got manners, you know what I'm saying? And self-control. Now, what triggers do you have that you could own instead of blaming everybody else on how you are reacting? Here, I'll give you one of mine. It's tough to admit. Criticism. That used to be a big trigger for me. I didn't know how to take constructive criticism because I was consistently criticized by my abuser. Young and Dumb, Chrissy Chick, Barnes and you, constantly dissing my mom's side of the family. As far as he was concerned, is because I came from him and my mom, I'm always have an innate retarded part of me called Barnes. Because it's not Harris. And I don't believe any of my family members on my father's side knew how he was coming off. And it's a sad thing. Because I know that they knew his behavior. They knew him before my mom did. And like I say, listen, it's about being honest. It really is. Because now I'm a parent. And I've had challenges with raising my children. I have ADHDers. Some of my children suffer with depression. It's a real thing going on out here. And what I'm going to act like if I know I have a child that had a bit of a rough upbringing when it comes to their behavior. Maybe they struggle with this or that. Or maybe it was something I did ignorant to the fact as the parent, full of trauma myself. And of course I was ignorant at first. Well, I'm going to act like I don't know my child can be unrealistic, have bad behavior. No, I'm not going to do that. I acknowledge when my kids is wrong. And we actually sit and we talk about it. And I hold them accountable. Because what I'm not going to do is enable the behavior and then wonder why it's continuing in my family tree that no one's being accountable. Because if I'm adding to the problem, I need to be quiet and do better. That's simply what I'm saying. Stop making the problem worse and then excusing your behavior and expecting a different outcome every time you do that. Nah, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. We got to start getting out of our own way. We right in our own way. We can move out our way and start educating ourselves properly and doing better intentionally. You know what I'm saying? Not walking around here like, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. No, enough of that, because that used to be me. It's time to be more intentional. And it's daggone short time to be more accountable, because I'm tired of seeing adults showing up 32 and emotionally they 14. And then you want to put your stuff on me because I'm ignorant to the fact, because I didn't know to educate myself on certain things. So now you're controlling me with guilt because my abuser set me up that way as a kid, and I'm making the problem worse just because I'm ignorant. This is a thing. Learn. We must learn what we need in order to do better, or history will continue to repeat itself in the ugliest ways possible. And guess what? Our children are watching our hot mess. So don't go blaming and pointing to your child if you know you got a hot mess, skipping from relationship to relationship, judging someone because they in a relationship with the same person, even if you think, oh, he dragged you through the mud, but your body count raising in the meantime while I'm with my one person. Bye, Felicia. I don't want my body count raising. I ain't out here trying to get my young boy good, itchy, scratchy, outie. I'm good. I'll stay right where I'm at, and I'll figure out how we gonna make this work. Because we in it for the long run. Ain't no game plan over here. I don't need Peter to get over Henry. I don't do that. I'm a grown-ass woman. Yeah, that ain't cute. That's teenage behavior. And I got people 30 in my family, 40 doing that. That's out of pocket. So you heard it from me. I'm the creative one. And I'll be back, baby. I ain't going nowhere. So salute yourselves, because we worth it. Oof.